Hi, welcome. I'm Liz FitzGerald, Endorsed Spell to Write and Read trainer from Northern California. And I'm here today for day 3 of our 5-part series on goal planning with Spell to Write and Read. So today we're going to do some more assessment. Where are we now? Where are you? Maybe you're working with a preschooler and it's taking a while to get through the preparatory stages for getting up and going with Spell to Write and Read. Maybe you're working with a student in the spelling lists and you're actually teaching new words. Have you been making the progress that you like? Why or why not? We talked about that yesterday, but I want you to actually look at now, where are you? Take an assessment. Where are you in your plans for the year? Now, let's say that you had some big plans and you're just not making as much progress so far as you had hoped. That's okay. This is where you are. Now you're going to be looking at, all right, I'm going to reassess, I'm going to make some adjustments, and I'm going to figure out from here, where do I want to go? Don't worry about what's gone before. Beating yourself up and not being happy with yourself and kicking yourself is more of the perfectionism that I was talking about yesterday. That's one of the ways that perfectionism really will get you. If you are not meeting your plans and what you thought you were going to accomplish, one of the things that you might be doing is, oh well, I just can't do this. That's perfectionism trying to kick you and make you quit. And that's not what you want. Remember, go back to your why. Why are you doing this? Let's reassess and let's figure out where we are right now and how we're going to finish for the rest of the year. All right, another piece of paper. Get out a piece of paper, and I want you to realistically look at what do you want to accomplish with the time that you have left. Maybe you're someone who finishes in May. I always envied those people who middle of May, or certainly by the end of May, I'm done. And I was like still plugging away in June and July. And my kids always thought that summer was for catching up for everything that didn't get done. But maybe you're one of those people. So look at what is your end date, what's your target end date, and what is it that you realistically, there's that word again, what is it that you think you can accomplish between now and then? Now, finish this sentence. In order for this school year to be a success, I need to accomplish, what does that mean? Maybe for a preschooler, I need to have finished teaching penmanship, have worked on phonemic awareness, have a student who can read and write the A through Z phonograms fairly well, and have started the first of the WISE lists. Maybe my goal is to have finished the first 5 or 6 WISE lists. Maybe you want to be done with list E before you finish with your preschooler. Maybe that's your goal. Maybe you're already in the WISE list and you want to say, well, I want to be done with list O. And I think we can actually do that. I think our pace has been really good. I think we can continue at this pace, maybe even bump it up a little bit. And I think that's where I can realistically end for this year. Whatever it might be, take a look at it and write that down. Now, one of the things I've mentioned is pacing. How do I know if I'm pacing my lessons the way I should be? Well, first of all, should is an important word for you to identify, because what's should for somebody else is not necessarily should for you, or what should is for one child isn't necessarily what it is for another student. So be careful about that word. What is it, that you think you can accomplish? So if you're using Spell to Write and Read and you're actually into the spelling lists, I want you to take a look at Spell to Write and Read, page 64. And on that page, Wanda Sinceri, the author of the program, has a pacing schedule there for you. Now, I did a video, a Facebook Live video, in October of 2016. It's available on our YouTube channel. It's also available on my Facebook page, and I'm going to put a link. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the video description just below. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, I'll put a link to this video in the comments, so look for it there. But I did a video that discusses pacing, and one of the questions that had been asked that I was addressing was, how do I get my lessons up to 40 words a week? How do I do that? So I did discuss pacing in that video. So it's important for you to go back and watch that segment. So, because I talk about, if you're working with a kindergartner or a first grader, that kind of thing, go watch that video. Now, it's important when we talk about pacing, I want to go back to that word should, because the pacing that's suggested might not work for your family. It just, or your class, or your group, or maybe your teaching situation. So what's important is another keyword. We've talked about realistic. Here's another key word that I want you to write down: consistent. So let's say that you're trying to teach 40 words a week, but that's a lot of words, and you're still trying to figure that out, and you finally push and push and push, and you get 40 words a week, but that was really hard for you, and that was hard for your kids, and so you kind of don't do it again for a couple weeks because that was hard. It is actually better that you consistently teach 20 words a week than that you push and push and try to get 40, but bomb out every other week because you just can't do it. Because in the end, you really are teaching 20 words a week. So consistent lessons are actually more powerful than necessarily how fast you're going. Consistency pays off. So maybe you can't teach 5 days a week. Did you know that just practicing phonograms, maybe even playing a game with phonogram cards, one of those days a week that you can't get to your full lessons, that helps keep that information going. It helps get the brain neurons going with the phonograms, and it helps the kids to lock in to the core concepts that you're trying to teach. So don't forget about the fact that perfect isn't going to happen all the time, and sometimes just consistent, maybe even a slower pace, is going to get you closer to your goals than trying to push and push and bombing out because it's been too hard for you. Now, I'm not saying don't try, but I'm saying if you have and it's just not working, then back off and let consistency drive you, not perfect. All right, so that's some assessment for you to do. Look at a calendar, look at what's coming up, what do I need to plan for, and how can I make a realistic plan for what I want to accomplish in the time that's left between now and when I say the school year is over. All right, so you've got some homework to do. That's part 3. Come back tomorrow for part 4 in our goal planning series.